These are some of my predictions and best bets for the NFC in 2022. Feel free to agree or disagree with any of these predictions, and please let me know about it in the comment section down below. So let's kick things off with the NFC East. My best bet for this division is for the Washington Commanders to suck and not win 9 games. I'm a fan of Coach Ron Rivera, but this is a very poorly run organization, and they now have Carson Wentz as their quarterback. They do have a few guys that are going to be good to pick up for fantasy football leagues on offense, but you got to remember, Carson Wentz is the guy that's going to be trying to get the ball to him. When I look at their schedule, there doesn't look like there's any easy wins. If they don't get off to a good start, I can see this team mailing it in for a good draft pick. By the way, did I mention that Carson Wentz is their quarterback? Yeah, give me the under in their total wins. The Cowboys are expected to repeat as champs here. Definitely not a Cowboys fan myself, but I would say that the smart money is to take the plus money action with the Cowboys here. They brought back the majority of the roster that won this division last season, but they did trade away Amari Cooper to the Browns this offseason, and I actually think that that was a good move because their focus should be more on running the ball. The defense isn't bad, but it's also not a dominant one. A good ground game can be their best friend, so I like them to win this division. Now, throughout the season, I will be sharing picks for games happening each week, but most of those picks will be coming from people that use the Better Off app to transparently document their bets. If you download the app and you're putting up good numbers, I might be mentioning your user profile this season. If you want to follow picks made by people that can prove that they're beating the sportsbook, make sure to subscribe to this channel and tap that bell. Here's what the NFC North looks like. Pretty much, it's the Packers versus the field in this one, and I think the Packers win this division. However, I wouldn't bet on it with those odds. Vikings are going to be an interesting team to watch. They have had some good teams on paper the last couple years, but they failed to make the playoffs last season, and Mike Zimmer is no longer the head coach because of it. I think this team will win more than 8.5 games. My logic being that new coach Kevin O'Connell can't be worse than Mike Zimmer was, and I think that the Vikings see the playoffs this year as well. I would also roll the dice on the Lions winning more than 6.5 games this year. Here are 3 reasons why. Number 1, the Lions' strength of schedule is the 5th weakest in the league.
Shit's weak!
Number 2, despite being tied for the worst record in the league in 2021, the Lions were also the 3rd most profitable team to bet on against the spread last season. They played a lot of teams much closer than anyone suspected they would, and they lost a lot of close battles. Of course, you could always just chalk it up to it being the Lions finding ways to lose as they always do, but I'm going to look past that this year. Number 3, the players buy into Dan Campbell. Last year I watched this team, they played to the whistle and they fought hard to the bitter end even in games that they were completely out of it. That's a sign of a good coach. Because of all that, I think the Lions will win 8, maybe even 9 games this season. By the way guys, I would really appreciate your support for this channel and helping us grow. So please do me a solid and tap that like button. NFC South. It's Tom Brady's world and everyone else is just living in it. The Bucs are and should be heavily favored to win this division, but I wouldn't bet on it with those odds. However, I would bet on the under on the Saints win total. With the exception of week 5 against the Seahawks, I don't see another game on their schedule that looks like an easy win. They do have a very good defense and a damn fine running back, but I just don't believe in Jameis Winston as the guy that can lead this team. If Winston can consistently take care of the ball, yeah, I could see them winning 8 or 9 games, but that's a big if, and I'd rather bet against that than on it. Give me the under here. The Atlanta Falcons, I believe, will surprise some people this year. I think Marcus Mariota resurrects his career in Atlanta, and I think that the coaching staff will get the most out of Mariota's talents. They showed last season that they're capable of innovation when they made the most out of Cordarrelle Patterson's talents. They did win 7 games with that team, by the way. They may need to dig deeper in their bag of tricks, though, because this year the schedule will be tougher. But I think that they're good for 7, maybe even 8 wins again. I think the over 4.5 wins is going to be easy money here. By the way, guys, make sure to download the Better Off app because it is free and you can make as many picks as you want. You'll be able to identify some of your own strengths and weaknesses, as well as see how you stack up in a community of sports bettors all trying to beat the sportsbook. NFC West. My best bet for this division, I like the under on Seattle winning 5.5 games. The Seahawks ownership group should put a tank out in front of the entrance of their stadium and just leave it there as a symbol of what this season should be all about. This team really should embrace the suck this year and put themselves in the best position to rebuild. I will take the under here all day. The Rams are favored to repeat as champs of the West again, and it's probably a safe bet to make, but when you're the defending Super Bowl champs, you're always going to get other teams' best shot all season long. But one thing that does concern me is Matthew Stafford and his potential elbow issue. Nonetheless, I think the Rams win the West as long as he stays healthy, and I would bet that they win more than 10.5 games as well. Alright guys, it should be a fun season, and if you haven't checked out my predictions for the AFC, here's a link to that video right here. I will be back again soon with some more time-sensitive content, so stay tuned by subscribing and tapping the bell. Until next time, best of luck banging on the books.